Roman Reigns just got some very bad news from WWE. And coming up, could Sasha Banks' career in WWE be over? But first, let's get to this Roman Reigns story, as it is just breaking. On Friday Night SmackDown, we saw a contract signing between the Usos and RK Bro. This was for their unification match at WrestleMania Backlash. The contract never got signed, and instead the Usos and RK Bro had a big brawl, and all heck broke loose. During this chaos, Roman Reigns came down to the ring to assist his cousins, the Usos, and it was during this time when WWE officials saw something so outrageous and uncalled for that they are now taking action against Roman Reigns. When Roman made his way down to the ring, he grabbed the contract for the tag team title unification match, and he held it up in his hands, and he said, "This match is not going to happen," and then proceeded to rip up the contract. And then while the Usos were holding up Riddle, Roman Reigns shoved the ripped up contract into Riddle's mouth and then brutally attacked him. WWE says that they will not tolerate this kind of behavior. The first thing is WWE officials say that anyone who rips up a contract will be severely punished by the company. And then the other thing is demeaning a fellow wrestler and attacking them when they are helpless is uncalled for. And now WWE officials are about to make a shocking announcement about Roman Reigns, as they will hand him a 30-day suspension. This is because he ripped up that contract, he shoved it into Riddle's mouth, and then attacked him. WWE officials will say that they had no choice but to take this kind of action against the WWE Universal Champion to make sure it never happens again. They want to send a loud and clear message to not only Roman Reigns, but every wrestler on the roster that this kind of behavior in the company will not be tolerated. And in the coming days, WWE will announce that Roman Reigns has been suspended and we will not see him in the company for 30 days. And now fans are wondering what exactly is going to happen to Roman Reigns appearing at WrestleMania Backlash. Of course, he was scheduled to participate in a 6-man tag match at the pay-per-view. That will be on May 8th, and the suspension is going to happen in the next few days. And his long-awaited feud with Drew McIntyre will have to be put on hold. Obviously, ripping up that contract is going to have huge ramifications for Roman Reigns. Sasha Banks is very upset about something that WWE did to her. Sasha Banks and her tag team partner Naomi were scheduled to defend their women's tag team titles at the WrestleMania Backlash pay-per-view on May 8th. And they were going to take on the team of Natalya and Shayna Baszler. However, that match has been taken off the pay-per-view, and Sasha Banks is not happy about it. That match is now going to be demoted to being on SmackDown. And when Sasha Banks heard that she would not be wrestling at the next WWE pay-per-view, she broke down in tears because she was made a lot of promises by WWE officials reportedly. And one of those promises was that she was going to be able to defend these tag team titles at every pay-per-view until they lost the titles. Unfortunately, Naomi and Sasha were kicked off the pay-per-view, and now they're just going to be on the middle of the card on an episode of SmackDown. And Sasha Banks couldn't believe this when she got the news. In fact, she was driving at the time, and when she got the text from Bruce Pritchard that they were taking her off the pay-per-view and that she could stay home on that day, she actually had to pull over because she was first so angry, but then she had an emotional breakdown and began to cry uncontrollably as she felt she was betrayed by WWE. She was really looking forward to appearing at WrestleMania Backlash, and her and Naomi were scheduled to defeat Natalya and Shayna Baszler, and they were going to successfully defend their titles at the pay-per-view. Well, now they're moved to TV, and it's possible they may lose the titles as well when they have this match on SmackDown. And she has told close friends that it seems that every time WWE puts a title on her, that she gets betrayed, she gets lied to, she gets double-crossed. And she went through this before, a couple years ago, when her and Bayley lost the tag team titles at WrestleMania, and she took several months off because she was so upset about WWE doing that to her. And once again, she feels like she's going through the same thing because she put her trust back into this company who said that they would never do something like that ever again to her. And one of the things she has told these close friends is that it's a tragedy that she trusted WWE and that they had the gall to take somebody of her caliber and status off of a WWE pay-per-view. Sasha is very upset, and she doesn't know what her future in WWE will be because she is suffering a lot of emotional stress right now, and she just wants some time to think it over. And right now, all she wants is some time to think this over and figure out what her future might be in WWE. What are your thoughts about the rumor that Roman Reigns will be suspended from WWE? And what are your thoughts about Sasha Banks and Naomi being removed from the WrestleMania Backlash pay-per-view? Leave a comment below and give me your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification so you are notified when we upload a new video.